smoke in a tree. The wind rose up, set him down on his knee. I wake up crashing like a fisted jaw. Delivered him when he said, look at me now. Arms wide open when the seas explore. Whoa, whoa. Floated back down cause he wanted to share this key to the locks on the chains that he saw everywhere. Oh, but first he was stripped and then he was stabbed by a faceless man. Hey, fucker! He still stands and he still gives his love and just gives it away. And the Lord in the seas is the love that is saved. And sometimes I see the strange spot in the sky, the human being that was given to fly. Good evening. I don't know how it feels out there, but you're making it feel pretty good up here. I'm just gonna say a quick shout out. In 1988, my car broke down on the way to Phoenix from San Diego, and it broke down in this little town called Gila Bend. If you've ever seen Gila Bend, you see it for about 90 seconds as you're driving through it at 80 miles an hour. You know, it was almost like life forced me to stop and I just wanted, you know, here's the thing. I was broke, I was stuck, and I was not going anywhere, and I thought I'd get out. I didn't want to tell too long of a story, but we got some time tonight. I do. Are you? Mike McCready, you got anywhere to go after that? You got it? You're good. All right, he's got a pool day tomorrow. We're good. So this couple named Tom and Avis, they took me in. I feel like I've told this story before, but I just want to re-mention it because there's so many people here, and the chance that one of you might end up driving back through Gila Bend at some point. If you ever pass through there, would you tell them that this guy named Ed, that they let me stay with him for a few days when I really needed some help, and it was Tom and Avis. Tom had just been elected the head of the Elks Lodge that year. And he was very proud of the satellite dish that he had raised the money for. And I just, you know, it was a while back. They might not be around, but if their kids are around, if you ever see, I think there's only one gas station. So it would be that one. If you're coming from the west, it's the first one on your right. And I think that's the only one. But just tell them that I still think about Tom and Avis, and tell them that Ed wanted to thank him one more time for showing incredible kindness to a stranger. I seem to recognize your face, haunting, familiar, yeah. I can't seem to place it. Can I find a candle of thought to light your name? Oh, lifetimes that catching up with me. All these changes taking place. I'm glad I saw that blaze. So thank you all for taking me. Your hearts and thoughts, they fade away. Oh, hearts and thoughts, they fade away. I swear I recognize your breath. All memories, like fingerprints, are slowly erased. You wouldn't recall, for I'm not my father. It's hard when you're stuck upon the shelf. I'm changed by not changing at all. Time predicts my fate. Perhaps that's what no one wants to see. Oh, I just want to scream. Yeah. God, it's been too long. Never dreamed you'd return. But now here you are, and here I am. Hearts and thoughts that fade away. This gets you warmed up. Hearts and thoughts, they fade. Hearts and thoughts, they fade. Hearts and thoughts, they fade. Fade away. Fade away now. Oh. Oh, well, good things come to those who wait, they say. My friend Tom Petty used to say, the waiting's the hardest part. Thank God the waiting is over. We're so happy to be here in Arizona tonight. You ready? You ready? Mr. Jeff Heyman on the 12-string bass guitar. That one. Hey, before I forget, I should thank the Coyotes for lending us their stage tonight. Two of my favorite Coyotes are here tonight. Mr. Christian Fisher and Clayton Keller in the house. Hello, Trudy. This song is called Superblood Wolfmoon, but I think Wolf is close enough to Coyotes, so we're gonna give it a shot. Go! Superblood Wolfmoon took her away too soon. That's all I gotta say. Superblood Wolfmoon took her away too soon. Oh, I can hear you singing in the distance. I can see you when I close my eyes. Once you were somewhere, and now you're everywhere. I'm feeling selfish and I always try. I'm smoking, I'm back on myself. Feeling angry, knocking off the right now I feel all that the innocence searching for a field. Hypnotic resonance I feel. Not much of anything, and the cause is life or death. The life of hopelessness. Focus on your focusness. I've been hoping that I hope that's last. Oh, I don't everything. This life I love is going way too fast. Oh, my hands are swollen, my face is broken, and I'm hoping that I hurt you. Hoping that I hurt you. She was a stunner, and I am stunned. The first thought and second thought was could be the one. I was a prisoner of keys and a cause. I was too unfortunate to be locked up. Like the world kept us spinning, always felt like it was ending in love. Now we're standing, we are each other's fault. I can hear your shit in the distance. I can see you when I close my eyes. Once you were somewhere, and now you're everywhere. I'm feeling selfish and I always try. Oh, I'm going again, being this, feeling angry now. There you go, solo. You ready? Come on now. Come on. Come on now. There you go. Superblood Wolfmoon took her away too soon. Superblood Wolfmoon took her away too soon. Took her away too soon. I can hear you shit in the distance. I can see you when I close my eyes. Once you were somewhere, and now you're everywhere. I'm feeling selfish and I always try. Focus on your focusness. Don't have a hopelessness. I was hoping and I hope that's last. I don't know anything. I question everything. This love I love is in my way too. This here song is about remembering that you have the freedom to do what you want. And the freedom that when you fuck up, you have the freedom to own it and to grow from it. And if anybody acts like they can judge you because you fucked up, well, that's probably because they've already fucked up a bunch of times and they're trying to take attention away from the time that they fucked up, so they make you feel like you fucked up. Jeff wrote it. Is that about right, Jeff? Yeah, okay. That's what I thought. So this is, you know, you got to remember, in order to do something extraordinary, sometimes you have to make a few mistakes. You can't hide the lies in the rings of a tree. If your heart still beats free, you keep it for yourself. When you want to some part unrevealed, like the flight of the bee. You keep it for yourself. It's alright to be alone, to listen for a heartbeat. It's your own. It's alright to quiet up, should your living truth die, could be an acid trail. Leave the Eucharist whole. You keep it for yourself. Tire of the game, you hit the road towards the clouds. Find the groove in the sound. Keep it for yourself. It's alright to resist disappointment in your own home. It's alright to turn it on, to ignore the rules of this state is your own. It's alright to shut it down, or disappear in thin air. It's your home. It's alright to be alone, or listen for a heartbeat. Can't hide your eyes. I don't know if you saw when we were driving in tonight. At first I thought I was having an acid flashback. I wasn't sure what was happening, but one of the, you know, they have signs on the freeway, electric signs. And I don't know if he's here tonight or he had the night off, but there's somebody who works with the Arizona State Highway. So it said, what did it say? It said, Said, even flow on the gas, left to pass. I'm gonna toast that pot smoking motherfucker. My message to him is, that was incredible. Keep eating the edibles.
Oh
How's everybody? No, I meant everybody in the way back. Yeah! We can feel you from here, just so you know. The mighty Section 223. Who are you looking at, Mike? What's going on over there?
That's it, my people over here. All of them. This side, I'm like this. Okay.
Yeah, no, my side's got you beat.
I don't think so. A little louder.
All right, this side needs to go back farther. Come on, what you got? What you got?
Come on.
You know, we've never done this kind of cheesy bullshit before. But I think the back can take on all y'all. What you got? Come on! Wait, what about these guys? All right, the game ain't over yet. I was riding. We had some bikes down in San Diego when we were launching the tour, and I was riding along this road, almost getting hit by a bunch of knuckleheads and driving in the bike lane, fuckers. And here I am feeling all environmental. But then a Tesla came up behind me, which you don't hear a fucking Tesla when they come up behind you. So he almost squashed me like a squirrel. But what I did hear is some music, and at first I thought, I knew I recognized the song. I was thinking it was maybe like, I thought it was Queen for that. Either way, I was like, that's a good song. It wasn't quite as good as Zeppelin, no. But and then they pulled up at a stoplight, and then I realized, oh fuck, that's our song. It's a pretty good song. Sometimes it takes a minute, you know. But so I pulled up, and then I tried to kind of just wave to her, and she looked at me like I was, just another hobo asking for money. I was just like, hey, I got a nice bike. I don't need your fucking help with your Tesla. Go fuck off. But this is what we heard. Hey, let me point out Mr. Josh Klinghoffer doing multiple duties tonight, including opening the show. And from the Hawaiian Islands, a very secret, sacred spot, the master of the B3, Mr. Boone Gaspar. This wasn't on the list tonight. We put it on the list because someone who's a hero of ours requested it. He spent more time in outer space than most people, than anyone. His name's Mr. Scott Kelly. We are so honored to be able to have him in the building with us tonight. He's the first person to ever spend a year. I'm not sure if it's happened again. But as I told him before, the whole time he was up there, we were really paying close attention. And to see him in the flesh and see him down here meant a whole lot to us. And the funny thing is he wanted seats as far high in the back as possible. That's what he was used to. This is for you, Enrico, with our love.
Her body was dead. Oh, 5 horizons revolved around the soul as a ship to the soil. Now the air I tasted and breathed is taking a turn. Tattooed everything. I take a walk outside. I'm surrounded by some kids that play. Oh, I feel their laughter. Oh, so why do I see her? Thank you for waiting. Thank you for trusting me. In the name of duty, name of sight, name of truth. We belong, I'm home. We belong, I'm home. I belong here at home. I belong. It's been a month and a day since I've heard myself talk. All they vanished, this lies got only picture an empty car in the middle of the sea. And I'll stay behind and let me be right. I got memories, I got shit. So easy to crack. I got questions, who the fuck am I ever gonna ask? Oh, I alone and wait for the dream that I'm not ugly and you're looking at me. And I'll stay there where I blue eyed see if just once I could feel love.
Hey, I know you guys got mosquitoes here, but I know you got scorpions too. Tonight we're singing this one about the scorpions. Don't get excited, Mike.
I should have known there was someone else. The hurt don't show, but who knows? Time will tell. Now believe in nothing. Not today as I move myself out of your sight. Oh, I'll be sleeping by myself tonight. I could never go with no one else. The hurt don't show, but who knows? Time will tell. Now I believe in nothing but the pain, and I can't see this turning alright. Oh, I'll be sleeping by myself tonight. Forever be sad and lonely. Forever never be the same. I close my eyes, I wait for a sign. Am I just waiting in vain? I'm leaving eyes, wait for a sign. Am I just waiting in vain? Believe in luck and disaster. Sometimes the two are just the same. I'm beginning to see what's left of me is gonna have to be free to survive. Oh, I'll be sleeping by myself tonight. I believe in nothing but the pain, and I can't see this turning out right. Oh, I'll be sleeping by myself. I'll be sleeping by myself. I'll be sleeping by myself tonight.
Simon, will you take that ukulele for me? Thank you. That's Simon from Ireland. Bublin, Dublin. You know, I want to tell you about the good news. You know, here's the good news. And in the last 5 years, and the Me Too and the Time's Up movement, and I think we've become more aware about the disparity in pay based on gender. We're starting to pay some attention. We're starting to clarify some of these issues. You know, here in our great society in the United States of America, we are making strides. And here in Arizona, in particular, you have some great folks in government. You have one of our heroes, the truly admirable and total badass, Senator Gabby Giffords. And another one we love and support is Senator Mark Kelly. Yes. At the same time, you have a governor who has just signed a bill that outlaws a woman's freedom to choose, even in the event of rape or incest. So we are putting a number and some information on this screen to encourage voting in the midterms and being active and protecting your freedoms. What we're asking you is to support the freedom to choose. No one, not the government, not politicians, not the Supreme Court should stand in the way of access to abortion, birth control, or contraceptives. We're in America, and in America we believe in freedom, liberty, and privacy, and people should have the freedom to choose. Make a difference, please. Elections, they have consequences. Join us. We applaud you. Here's to our future.
Picture What the fuck is this world running to today? Leave a message and you start. Could I learn your voice one last time? Daily my feelings good. Be my time by you. Would you hear me? What? Would you hear me? Tears I'm taking up by the middle. There ain't gonna be any middle anymore. In the course I'm bearing home. And you take of my
I was just gonna have a quick sip of wine in the back while I catch my breath, and I thought, well, I'd rather just stay out here with all our friends. So, remember the old days, and I would get glad we'd share, and yeah, it'll. This is one step. Having this kind of gathering, hopefully, is one step back to being normal, and you know, if anything, I know it taught a lot of us. Certainly, I could raise my hand. It taught us so much of what we took for granted, and how important life is, and how important friends are, and how important gathering as a tribe, how important that is. So to come here tonight and be surrounded by all these incredible people with incredible energy. We're so fucking grateful. So if you allow me, I'll drink to that. I'd also like to there's a it's not only a great friend of mine, but she also happens to be my niece. Do we know where she is? Do we have a light to shine on her? Did we figure that out?
It's third building, second
Third, can we get a spotlight up in this area? Hey, Molly, I'm looking for Miss Molly Vedder. Up, 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 to the left where the light, Molly! Wait, is it to the left? I just see a guy with a blue t-shirt just saying, look at me. Molly. Molly. Oh, there you go. Well, my eyes are so fucking bad. I'm old, yeah, I'm old.
Right there, stand on the side.
All right, I just want to...
Left. Boom, right there.
That's Molly Vedder, everybody. Hi, Julie. This Wednesday, Molly is going to be graduating from Arizona State University. Which I must say is a very rare thing for a Vedder. The amount of times it has happened, I can count on one finger. So now you've turned it into victory and peace, and her first graduation event was actually tonight on campus or something. She decided to come here, so let's make it a big congratulations, Molly, graduation event here at the Gila River Band. I love you, Molly. And your brother, Josh. All right. You know what? We were going to play a sad song, but I just don't want to do it. Let's play the first one first. Let's play the second one first. Can we do that? Yeah. No, I'm too. This feels too good. I ain't gonna bum myself out or all these people. We're happy for Molly. I mean, so. Now. I was looking at a sign. There was a kid in the very, I don't know if you saw him. There's a kid in the very, way in the back there. And he had a big yellow sign. It said, from North Carolina, my first show. He's over here. No. I thought for his first show that was a bit much, so we got him down here. a little closer to the action because I'm hoping for some repeat business from North Carolina. All right, this one's for you, this one's for Molly, this one's for everyone if you want it.
The sun don't shine. Here, don't it make you smile? Don't it make you smile? Don't it make you smile? When the sun don't shine, it don't shine at all here. Don't it make you smile? I'll miss you already. I'll miss you always. Always. I'll miss you already. I'll miss you always. This is how I feel. I'll miss you already. I'll miss you always. Oh, three crooked horses swirled all around. I'll miss you always. You know, there's been some loss, obviously, with COVID, obviously with some the other things. It's always difficult and painful, and we were talking about our friend Taylor Hawkins the other night, and I see some Foo Fighters shirts out there, and it affected the whole music community. I really only got to know him closely in just the last year. And I'm just so grateful that I had that time. Matt Cameron was closest to Taylor, and they got to work together a lot. And then I think about my Uncle John, who's Molly's dad. He was one of my best friends growing up. He was 10 years older than me. And man, I loved him till the day he died, and still. And I think about him, especially when I'm here in Arizona. And we'd go to spring training games, and we'd go to this the musical instrument museum in Phoenix. One of my favorite places. Tell Rich I sent you if you go down there and visit. Matt Cameron, you gotta see this place.
But I guess I don't think we've played a show since Eddie Van Halen passed away, and he was another legend that we miss. And This is Stone Gossett on the guitar. Last time we hear some pretty intense but positive stories. There's a young woman out there who let us know that she lost her sister just last February. It was, she had extenuating circumstances or pre-existing conditions. And she kind of beat COVID the first time. I think I understand it this way, but then the second time, she didn't quite pull through, and she's only 51 years old. It made me think of her, but also all the people I know, doctors, healthcare workers that live in this city. Some of them are my best friends, a doctor called Clayton Paloy. Richard helped my uncle as much as they could, and we're there, and we're still together, and still friends. And to Laura's sister, I want to say I'm sorry for your loss, and especially because you called her your best friend. Hang in there, and I'm glad we could. The least we could do is celebrate her and you and that love tonight. Force of nature.
She
surfer, remember? This is for all the badass women out there and all the badass men that support them. Hey, fighter, never heard the news. Oh, yeah. The swimming in the town of being misused. Oh, yeah. I seen it all in my dreams last night. Oh, yeah. Girls leaving this town 'cause they ain't treated right. Tringhauer, Boom Gaspar, Mr. Jeff Amon. And a lot of bands will say it, and I'm sure they mean it, but they're just fucking wrong. We have the best crew. We've had them for 30 years just about. They go with us everywhere. They work harder than we do. And the only other people that work harder than they do is the people in the front row. You guys are unfucking believable. So let's hear one time for the Pearl Jam crew. Again, thanks for making this the most memorable night in Arizona. We've had quite a few, so that you've set the high bar. Thank you so much, everybody. I just can't believe. Thank you. Thank you. We thank you. We'll see you next time. Be good until then. We love you. Take care of yourselves. So grateful. Love you. Night, everyone. We love you. Good night.